Welcome back to Let's Play What the Hell Happened in School. It's been a while. Actually. Let me see. Any second. When the game loads. There we go. Now it doesn't say when I last played, but it does say I'm 5 hours into the game. Which is insane. I would have beat the game by now if I was just playing it normally. But it has been a little while. Did you know that the hallway connecting the main building and new building is infamous? It has a spirit that sings oranges and lemons. Except if you've got it in Korean, in which case it'd be different. So I put the saturation up again, which looks like absolute shit in any other scenario than this, to be honest. It's like, on the main menu of the PS4, it looked bright as shit. There goes my phone again. Don't recognize the number, therefore I do not answer. I remember checking my messages the other day, and there's like just junk mail. It's just like that's part of the reason why well, actually, if anything, that's the main reason. If I see a number that I don't recognize, I'm just like, no. I always kind of like wonder in my head, it's like, imagine answering junk mail calls and speaking in a different language to the person on the other end just to confuse them. Or speak gibberish, maybe even Simlish. You know, like the language in the Sims and all that. Yeah, that's pretty much the same thing again. Bloody junk mail, man. It's annoying just to have that with emails, let alone your freaking phone. But anyways, where did I leave off? Oh yeah. Saturation looks like shit when I increase it, like on the main menu, because everything looks way too bright. But in the case of this game, it kind of needs it because it just looks dark on the recording. I mean, the game's not all that dark, but the recording really screws up on how it looks for some reason. Anyways, are you prepared to see the most bizarre thing you might see all day when we go in that room? The dance studio, you ready to dance? I must point out, I'm not going to say what we'll encounter in here, but I will just say this. If you are, for whatever reason, watching this video with someone else in the same room and you're not using headphones or anything, or even if you are using headphones, because your confused reaction will probably be like, what are you watching from the other person? I don't know. Anything like that, this is going to be one of those moments where it'll be like, you know that old joke where it's just like, you know, it'd be easier to explain if you switched to porn or something like that, because of how bizarre and hard to explain it is. Well, we're going to be encountering something that kind of fits that description in a way. Not like porn or anything, but I mean in that it's completely bizarre. I see the red keycard in the mirror. Bloody hell, you must have better eyesight than me, because even on my TV I can't see it. Freaking on the capture card recording, it's definitely not going to be able to see it. Except, you know, when I do this. I can just about see it there. Anyways. This thing, yeah. We picked up that CD, remember? Now we get to see what's on that CD.
플라톤 이래 서양 철학에서 이성이란 다른 동물과 구분되는 인간의 고유 능력으로 규정되었다.
It's a doppelganger.
계몽주의 이후에도 이성적
Boss fights.
인간의 지식을 개선하고 더
Forgive me, it has been a while, since I've done this. You may be wondering, it's like, oh, this isn't too bizarre with the music. Soundtrack, oh god, again, my ass. I hate the placement of this, it's so precise. Shit. Here we go. Ah, you see what I mean? Who the hell came up with that? I remember reading a kind of translation. I think, like, I remember seeing a comment on something, like maybe a forum or something. Or maybe it was the soundtrack on YouTube itself. And, like, someone translated a bit, and essentially it sounds like she's reading off a newspaper article or something like that. And then she just goes kind of completely nuts. Like, it's like, what the hell? Did they let Yoko Ono into the studio? It's so bizarre. And I'm like, picture this. I mean, find the soundtrack on YouTube. Open up another tab. And, like, find a video of someone fighting a boss in any game. And just mute the audio on it and have this play over it. And just see how bizarre it would inevitably sound. Okay, it's the same one again. Trouble is, this guy's such a dick. It's even worse on hell mode. I don't really have the items of healing. God damn it. First person perspective sucks. Because I haven't played this in freaking ages, and all I've got is the sawmill. Oh, this is. I hate that. It's like you have to be really precise. I hate the freaking way this stupid boss fight plays out. Okay, it's right at the back and in the middle. Oh, I hate this boss fight so much. Hey, 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 hey. Hoi, 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 hoi. Just enjoy the music, it is the strangest thing ever. Oi, 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 yeah, oi. Are you kidding me? No. I keep getting the back and the front and the middle mixed up. God damn, I hate this freaking boss fight because you can't see where he is, what he's doing, where he's aiming. And the freaking hit detection on the picking it up is just so freaking crap. Job well done. Oh shit, he's already... How has he spotted me? I mean, granted the lights are on and all that, but freaking hell, that doesn't usually actually happen. Usually what happens when he respawns is he's patrolling the area, but he doesn't straight away spot you because you're in a boss fight. What can you do? The lights come on during the boss fight. That's bullshit. Wait. Small mental weight used to balance the scale. Hopefully I've been consistently picking them up because it's kind of needed for a puzzle. Sort of. Oh god. Really? Gonna have to rely on the good old despawning trick again. I also noticed on the playback of the video, you can't even see her. Literally, it's complete blackness here. Like looking at a capture card, I can see it just about. But when it converts to MP4, it looks like shit. It's like that bit right there. It's the only bit you could actually see with it. It's ridiculous. But she's like sitting in the front row, essentially. So you may be wondering as well, each time that I go there to deliberately get killed so that I can despawn the janitor, which we won't be able to do all the time, because we're inevitably going to have to confront this girl down here. Because, well, it'll be relevant a little later on, in case you were wondering what the hell that even is all about. We'll get to it when we get to it, which honestly isn't very far from now, really. Might as well just leave these lights on. I couldn't even pick this freaking red key card. The key card that can unlock doors or the red section of the new building. You don't use it on the card right there. Couldn't even pick that up because he was so fast down here. He was like, I got you, you son of a bitch. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, emergency kits. The Doppelganger, right? He's a boss fight. Well, yeah, he's pretty much the, up to this point, all, like, the previous bosses have mostly just been kind of puzzle-based. I mean, that one kind of was, but unlike the other ones, it had an immediate threat to you. I mean, the other ones did because it was timed and shit, but different kind of scenario. These are the ones we can unlock with this. Not gonna do that just yet, though. But, what was I saying? The bosses, yeah. All the bosses also count to the ghost list. Like, we read the ghost tree one, and then we fought the boss that was a ghost tree. I'm not sure if we've got the one that was for the giant baby or not, but I think we might have. But anyways, here's one here. This is Ghost Story number 14, Mystery in the Dance Studio, and the reason why I brought all that up was this is the ghost story connected to the Doppelganger boss we just fought. The dance department of Y High School was highly regarded for having produced a number of famous dancers. Many young talents hoping to be a future ballerina competed in Y High School's dance department. Out of these young talents, twin sisters named Yayoi and Yaji appeared the most promising. People speculated that they would grow up to become famous dancers, and showered the young sisters with compliments. It was the younger twin, Yaiji, who received higher praise than her older sister. It was difficult to decide which of the twins was better in terms of physical condition and technique, but it was generally agreed that Yaiji was better at expressing herself and that she could move people's hearts through her performance. At first, Yaiji didn't give much thought to the reviews, or the fact that I can't pronounce the name properly. The same review kept repeating, and after losing the lead role to her sister in multiple performances, began to worry her, and she became nervous. In the meantime, the talent show for the school was quickly approaching. The performance in Y High School's dance department was such a good opportunity to make yourself known to the public, since even the mass media took interest and covered it. Performing the main role in this show would be the equivalent to making a debut in the world of dance. The school decided to hold an audition for the main role to allow a fair selection. It was the day before the audition. Yayon was pacing back and forth in the dance studio nervously. Troubled by her thoughts, she believed that Yaji that if Yaji were to take the leading role from her again this time, she would be doomed to live in Yaji's shadow for the rest of her life. After long deliberation, it seemed like she had come to a conclusion. She left the dance studio with an especially shiny pair of ballerina shoes. The next day there was an accident during the audition. Yaji fell during her performance. Her foot was covered in blood, sliced by pieces of broken glass. Her blood stains her ballerina shoes red. In the end, Yayon was picked to take the leading role. Yayon performed brilliantly and won the hearts of many fans. Media reports stated that she was the new emerging genius and aired special coverage on her every day. She even received scouting offers from a few famous ballet companies for after her graduation. In contrast, Yaji was in complete despair and was slowly withering away. Yaji repeatedly tried to practice before her wounds were healed, and it made her injury worse and worse. Eventually, injury became so terrible that she died of infection. When the music stopped, Yayan took a break from her practice and sat down to wipe the sweat from her face. She was alone in the dance studio after all the other students had gone home. Of course, Yaji would be here with her now if she was alive. For a moment she thought about her sister. It gave her goosebumps and she quickly pushed the thought away. She turned the music back on and Yayan got up and stood in front of the mirror, ready to resume her practice. She stopped when she noticed there was something off with her reflection in the mirror. In the mirror, her ballerina shoes were stained red. Startled, she quickly looked down to check on her shoes, but they were a clean, white pair of ballerina shoes. Right at that moment she heard, "I've been copying you perfectly so far, sister. Now it's your turn. You copy me now." Yayan's reflection in the mirror, the one that wore the bloody shoes, raised her hands slowly to grasp her neck. A gleeful grin spread across her face. So yeah, that's bit morbid. Have we got the one for the... I'm not sure. That one's definitely not it. Which one was this? Oh yeah, I remember now. We've seen her ghost. We've seen her ghost. She's the face that keeps like popping up at us. This one is... well, we technically have seen this one. It was that ghost that appeared that one time in main building A, or old building A. I can't remember if it was old building or main building that's called. But that ghost that hanged itself, because that's kind of what this one is all about. We've seen the woman locked in the closet, and we've of course seen the ghost tree. And we saw the secret of the pond one, so we haven't actually got the one that's connected to the baby yet. We've got the diary thing, but that isn't the ghost story itself. So we still, got plenty more to find. A lot of these ghost stories are a bit of a pain in the ass to obtain. Many of them can only be obtained on hard or hell mode, essentially. Can't get them on normal mode or lower for some of them because they require clearing puzzles that, for whatever reason, you can't actually interact with on lower difficulties. Also, remember Sangha, where she was like said something about the box and how nobody really ever solved anything from using it? Well, it's this thing right here. We can't actually interact with it because we haven't got something that we put in it, but it affects one of her endings you can obtain. Not gonna do that, though. I will on the next playthrough, though. Hopefully when I get to the next playthrough it doesn't take nearly as long, because my god, it's ridiculous. I want to turn off the lights. Ah, there you are. What if I turn it back on? She's gone. Now she's back. I guess that's good, because it's just like with turning on the lights, you kind of feel like you could miss this one potentially. But you've got to like get it in order. You gotta interact with her in the previous building, and you gotta interact with her on the floor below this in the room she was in, and then you can interact with her here. How you doing? Just chilling? I'm not sure. I don't think we've got her ghost story yet. How cliche. I keep saying that to these ghosts, but really, they could have definitely done more than just be like, nah, in your face, There's more to horror than just, rah, rah, nah. I don't know what I would have had the ghosts do, but would definitely be a bit different from just being in your face and like, nah. But if you gotta be in your face with it, kind of build the atmosphere up a bit, Don't just go straight away with it. It kind of undermines it a little bit. Nope. Let's buy another one. Yeah, might as well get one of these. They don't heal nearly as much, but it's good to have healing items. It's weird calling them healing items because it's essentially a drink and freaking food. What's in this room? Ah, yeah, the computer room. Oh yeah, I remember this. Oh yeah, I definitely remember this. But do I want to actually interact with it right now? Because I feel like it kind of like spoils a bit if I do that. You know, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually do the thing. Oh wait, I need the freaking. You know when we put the CD in the thing, stereo. Well, it doesn't give it to you back. You have to literally click on it again to get the CD back. And if you take the CD there, it will print something off, which contains quite somewhat important, like plot-wise stuff. And I kind of want to save that for later, you know, if anything. Because I'm not sure, I can't remember if it spoils anything, but it really puts things more in context. So, if anything, it'd be better to wait till then to, you know, do that, all that. But anyways, now that we got the red key card, we can also go up to the ones on the 4th floor. And remember the despawning ghosts over there? Well, we won't be able to use that after all this because, well, you'll see when we get to it, because we're gonna be dealing with that. You know, I might as well. Should I? Nah. Yes, like, what? Exactly. What? Exactly. Just like I'm not really gonna say anything there, because I'm just like... Well, you probably could guess, maybe, why I was running back and forth there. Just like, oh, there's clearly gonna be something there, isn't there? Yes. Now you may be like, why didn't you just turn the bloody light on? Well, actually, it's best not to really leave the light on here. It's a big room that is good to hide in. And there's another pin. Oh yeah, we'll actually be getting close to the puzzle that requires all these pins. I think there's 5 of them we need though. Oh yeah, I think the 5th one's in the room with it though. We can actually interact with this. Aha! Smoky yellow. We only... we got this when we'd got this. Wait, no. This. Remember in main building 1? That annoying little bit where we had to, you know, hide from the janitor to get to the auditorium, but we needed the key first. Well, this key hasn't come into play at all. But now that we've got a yellow key, if you remember, back in main building 1, there was something about being able to mix 2 keys together. Well, this is the case here. Kind of looks like a face, doesn't it? It's like, meow. But essentially we can mix the 2 together and we'll be able to open specific boxes. You know, those, what even are they? You know, that are just like lined in the hallways. We'd be able to open some of them with it. That's essentially what mixing them up does. There's also a third key that we can get a little later on that we can also use to do that, because of course Xbox, they wouldn't make it so that it's just like, no, you don't get it all with just the 2 keys. You gotta have the third key to get the rest. Now this right here, if you interact with this on any difficulty below hard mode, nothing will happen. And you'll just be left confused, and like I was when I first played it, I was like, huh? It's got Einstein on there. The ghost is approaching me, just wait for her to do her thing. I guess she comes when the bell tolls. It used to be more persistent when it wasn't patched, you know? And I was like, can't read any of it. What's even purpose? Oh. Damn you hostile ghost. Oh, she took the book. Remember the competitive spirit ghost story? Well, that was her ghost. She kind of went mad. But you know what? That'll do for this part, because we're up to 26 minutes. Which isn't too bad, but it can be a bit of a pain in the ass, depending on the file size. And you know what? I recorded for Spyro a while back, and the freaking file size, even when I saved it, was nearly a gigabyte in size. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Anyways, I'll see you next time, viewers. See you next time.